So my friend calls me up and says he wants me to go horseback riding with him. And I've been horseback riding once before, like 20 years ago, so I didn't really remember anything about it. And he said it was easy, he'll teach me everything. And he just bought this big house with a whole bunch of land behind it. Not his land, just public land. And he said we're allowed to go horseback riding on that land. So I show up at his house and he goes through all the motions and the rules and the commands to give to the horses and how to ride the horses and how to not to spook the horse. And he takes off, and so I take off after him, and we're riding for like an hour without even stopping. He didn't even look back to make sure I was there, so I was like desperately trying to follow him, figuring if I fell off I'd never be found. And we finally got to this place where we stopped, and there was this stream that we tied our horses up next to the stream. And he said he thought he heard something off in the distance, and then he went off to check it out, but he never came back. And I started waiting for like an hour, and he never came back, and it started to get dark. And I was wondering what I was going to do, because I didn't think we were going to be camping out or anything, so I didn't bring any warm weather clothing or even something to get water from the stream from. I had like a 2-liter bottle of water in my pack, but that was about it. And I figured if he doesn't come back and he's lost or he broke his leg or something, I'm screwed, because my phone didn't have any coverage. I had no signal on my phone, so I figured I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know where I was. And when I walked into the park, I saw this juggler, this clown, that was juggling these 3 balls. And it looked like he was kind of practicing to do some kind of show or something, because he kept messing up and he kept dropping the balls. And then pretty soon a bunch of kids gathered around him and adults gathered around him, and he was getting better and better. And it seemed like the more people that gathered around to watch him, the better he got. And he finally did his final trick that he said was going to be the final trick of the show that he was going on TV to do. And it was like this juggling act where he would start juggling these 3 balls. And then as he was juggling them, he would pick up more balls and throw them into the mix and keep juggling those. But then when he got like 15 balls that were in the air, juggling up and down, he snapped both of his fingers, and all of the balls turned into vampire bats and flew down and started biting everyone. And everyone ran away screaming and hollering and ah! And it was just bloody, and it was amazing. And so I went to sleep wondering, hopefully, that my friend might get back the next day. And when I woke up, the horses had been eaten. I mean, had been completely gorged, like some huge creature came in during the night and ate the insides of them. Their heads were still there, their spines were still there, but all of their guts were gone. And there wasn't really any footprints or anything, so I just said, what the hell? And luckily there was enough meat left on one of the horses that I cut it off with my pocket knife and carried it back with me. And it took me like a week to get back to where we were. And nobody ever figured out what happened to him. And they sent out helicopters and search teams, and nobody ever found my friend. And they found the horses, but they never figured out what did the damage and why whatever ate the horses didn't eat me while I was sleeping. But that was the weirdest weekend ever.